Hey guys, this is Pastor Mel, and I just need to tell you something real quick. Divorce is real. Furthermore, I decided to have one, and I recommend that you do the same. Yeah, that's right. Divorce yourself from every excuse and every self-imposed limitation that has literally already cost you decades, dreams, and destiny. And don't get me wrong, nothing's more beautiful than unity. That's only when we're unified with the purpose that our Father created us. And when we're walking within the musical harmony of divine connections with like-minded people. That's people who want what we want and who value what we value and who are more than willing to lock arms with one another to help each other get to where we can get to together through mutual support. Listen, there's something going down right now, y'all. I hope that you don't miss it. If it's in you, then you know who I'm talking to. My partners and I are like family, and this thing we got is thicker than blood because it's made in the spirit. And it's in the spirit that we decided to make some changes. How do you feel about these changes? Are you ready? Let us know if you need a spot at the table. We're about to participate in a halftime of a lifetime. It's winning season. Father's favor.
And we're back. Good evening, Facebook family and friends. I am Tanya Evans Barnes, your hostess, and I'm always doing the mostest. But before I get started, we're going to talk about facing the truth tonight. Hey, Lady Keys. Shout out to Lady Keys all the way in San Antonio, Texas. And listen, before I say anything else, I want you to click like and click share. Yep, I said it. Click like and click share because I'm sure that you do not want to miss what's getting ready to go down here tonight. I am a one-star director in this amazing company called Travorium that we're always talking about. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my business partner, 3-star director, Pastor Mel Keys out of San Antonio, Texas. He's the pastor of Joshua House of Worship down in San Antonio, Texas. So if you're in the area, you might want to stop by because he is fire. Pastor Mel, where you at, brother? Come on forth. Hey.
You caught me doing one more thing, but it's good time. Good timing. How you doing, my girl?
I am well. How are you, sir?
Excellent.
Looking all relaxed and had a good day.
I am relaxed. You know, I was sharing with you earlier. I had a first experience today. Went to a chiropractor and I was so blessed. In fact, if you're in the area, it's called Pinnacle Wellness in San Antonio. And I am grateful for the gentlemen over there. They did something. I'm feeling
you like you're gonna sleep good tonight.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. They say I got 12 more sessions to go, well, 11 more sessions to go. And if it's anything like this first one, I'm all for it.
Get right.
Yeah. We got a special guest here with us. Really, she's not a guest. She's in the zone now. She look.
Oh yeah.
Now she making it happen. Look, I get excited when I see her.
Yes.
Can't wait to see her in New Orleans.
Miss Director. Yes.
We're gonna be right there doing it up. We got Carol Caspar is in the house.
Hey, Queen.
It's good to see you, darling. And we got Minister Renee is in the house all the way up in New York land. Grateful to see you, beloved. Thank y'all for chiming in. Listen, ladies, tonight I thought that it would be appropriate to do it a little different way. A lot of times we bring the PowerPoint slides and all that. And I love to teach, train, and all that. But I just want to really come tonight and I want us to talk about facing the truth. And there were a number of video segment clips that I've become acquainted with over the past 6 months or so. And I thought that we'll just have a candid conversation. Even tonight. Today I went to the chiropractor. He said that there were some discs that I have, 2 of them in particular, that have become what he says is just normal wear and tear, and degeneration was the word that he used. Right. Over time, what happens, he was saying that the nerve, because I have something that's been causing some problems, and either I've been getting beat at night and my wife won't tell me, or I wake up, I'll be like,
No, Lady K would never.
would never, ever. It all depends on what I've done. But anyway, it's just been bothering me. It's been so problematic, and it's like no matter what. So I found out that more than likely it's a pinched nerve. And
Well, I'm glad you faced the truth.
Yeah,
and not like most men just be in pain and just let it just get worse and worse. So shout out to Lady K, because I know she gave you that look and made you go. So
come on now. It's unnecessary to continue a lot of the pain that we have. We perpetuate a lot of our pain by not facing the truth.
Yep.
That's true in a lot of areas. So tonight, ladies, we're going to face the truth. I see Minister Lisa trying to come in, but I don't see her on the camera yet. So I'm going to let her work that out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a few videos up. And as I'm doing that, we'll come back each time and we'll talk about them. Here's a clip that I heard most recently about a month ago. And it's gone from bad to worse. This was about a month or maybe even 2 months ago. And it's not gotten better. It's gotten worse. So let's take a look and then we'll come right back.
Record inflation, of course, taking a real toll on American families. But can they do this without sending the country into recession? Many economists not convinced tonight. All eyes, of course, on the Federal Reserve now, set to raise those rates to slow the rising prices. And economists say the average family now paying nearly $350 more every month for the same things they were buying last year. ABC's Victor Oquendo on families across this country now feeling this. He's from Florida tonight.
Tonight, with prices rising at their fastest clip in 40 years, the Federal Reserve expected to raise interest rates by 0.75 of a point to slow inflation, the biggest hike in nearly 3 decades.
Everyone can agree that this inflation is very painful and it has to come down. So the only way of doing that is getting those interest rates up and slowing the growth rate in the economy.
The move will send the cost of credit cards, car loans to mortgages even higher at a time when Americans are already paying more for just about everything. In Minnesota,
is this not enough?
All right, let me bring Minister Lisa in. Ladies, let's just chop this up just for a brief moment or two, because everything that I'm going to share with us tonight, this is not just, hey, Queen, it's not just in one city here, one state there. We're talking about some national. We're talking about some global stuff. It's been affecting everybody and everything in every way. There's no part of our society that isn't impacted by what we're dealing with: recession, inflation, all these types of things, taxation. And the problem is, most working people in our nation, their wage is just about the same as what it's been for the last year or the year before that, but the price on everything has escalated. So let's face this truth and let's talk about this for a moment. How does this sit with you? What are your thoughts?
I thank God for the ability to be able to survive through this. I mean, before Travorium, I was just collecting disability from when I got shot. So now I'm actually almost to the point where I can call Social Security and be like, hey, y'all can keep the cash part. I'll keep the medical. But hey, with stuff going up as much as it is, it's not going to go back down. So we got to get with the times. Face the truth. We are actually in a changing population. The world is changing.
Yeah. Ms. Carolyn, what do you think?
Yeah, my thoughts are, when I was in New York, I had one job.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to Delaware, there were people here who had 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, prophetically, I think they sort of knew intuitively. They were just making ends meet and then getting a little extra.
Yeah.
The reality of the thing is, I know here in Delaware, I don't know about across the nation or globally, but probably so, you need multiple streams of income.
Absolutely. Face the truth. Miss Lisa, what say you, darling?
I just say that with the way things are changing, our world has totally changed. From the world that I was born into. It has actually totally, changed, and it's still changing. But with that change, I say God always gives us a way out, because now our mindset has to change also.
Yeah.
You know, we have to always be renewing our mind, renewing our way of thinking, renewing our way of doing things.
Mhm.
And God, He sends opportunities. You
Yeah.
know, but the sad part is that there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be stuck and not going to have a way out because they're so stuck in tradition. They're so stuck in their way of thinking, and they are blind. They're
Right.
actually blind to what's going on and what's
Yeah.
going on in this season.
Yeah.
And in this season, there has to be an awakening, you know,
Yes.
and I think that's why we have to continue to cry out,
Yeah.
you know, cry
Yeah.
out, cry loud, and cry out.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Most people are in what I call a denial. It's not that they can't see it; they just don't want to see it. And I think it's the ostrich. Yeah, it's the ostrich. Danger comes, and their mechanism is to put their head in the dirt,
Right.
under the concept that if they don't see it, it's not real. Man, you go to that gas pump if you want to and live in denial. You go try to get some of them groceries if you want to. You got to face the truth. Somebody put that in the comments. Face the truth. It's good to see Reverend Wayne Osborne with us this evening. Thank you for joining in. Let's go to another one, ladies. I have one that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to share about 3 minutes worth of it somewhere in that neighborhood, and I think I'm going to take us off the screen when I share it because I think that it'll be better seen if I take us off the screen. So let me just pull it up first, and then I'll start removing us from the screen.
And
That's
people
right.
turned their back on me. And so I just decided I wanted to start helping people. And I wrote my first book, Living Check to Monday, because it wasn't check to check. It was check to Monday. And from there, a lot of people started admitting, you know, because this is what you got to realize. I'm Black. I'm smart. I'm in Chi-Town. I'm educated. I'm professional. I live in a big house in the suburbs. But I was living a lie, and a lot of other people were living that lie too. So I just started speaking up and telling the truth. I go to the, you know, you go to the sorority convention, everybody's supposed to be all like this. I was like, let me tell y'all something. Y'all look good, but y'all broke. You live in check to Monday. Your house is in foreclosure. Your bank account. You know, and people were like, she is so right. So that's just kind of how it started.
Damn. Man, I thank you for dedicating yourself to the cause because a lot of us need it. You know what I mean? A lot of us need it. I think one thing that we haven't been prepared for as kids coming up in our environment, our upbringing didn't prepare us for financial success.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, one of the things you said that you didn't have anything to replenish before when you were speaking. And you stress the importance of everyone having the need for a home-based business. Could you explain what a home-based business is? And could you explain your perspective of why everyone needs a home-based business?
Okay, so this is the biggest thing that everybody needs to understand out of everything. Okay, even if your credit don't get right, all right, I want you to get your credit right, but if you have enough cash, you don't need credit. All right, you might not have an education. Okay, that's fine. Most people who are rich don't have degrees anyway. So as a matter of fact, most people who have degrees are not wealthy. So, but this thing right here, having a home-based business, so this is what I need everybody to understand. The United States of America is set up on two systems. It's not Black versus white. It's not rich versus poor. It's not high class versus low class. It's not educated versus uneducated. It is employees versus businesses. And when they set up rules for taxes, they put you in one of two categories. If you are an employee, that means you virtually have no tax deductions. As a matter of fact, when the 2018 tax code was released, they took away mileage, they took away all kind of stuff from employees. But businesses, if you have a home-based business, that means your name and your social security number. You could be a DJ, a Uber driver, a makeup artist, a soon-to-be rapper. You could be a Mary Kay lady, an Avon
Long
lady.
as you got that tax ID number.
You don't even have to have a tax ID number. See, the new care, you don't even, all you need is your name and your social security number. You have a home-based business, and then you have 475 tax deductions. Now, this is what everybody got to understand. You got to do three things if you want to have some money. You got to spend less money. You got to get more money. But the more money you make, the more the IRS will take. Okay?
That's right.
The more you make, the more they take. Look at Antoine Walker, the NBA player. He had a $110 million contract, but he had $55 million in taxes because nobody trained him. And he talks about it openly. So now you got to get your money back. What do I mean by get your money back? If you went to the grocery store and bought $500 worth of groceries and ate all your groceries, and next week the grocery store manager said, come back and get your money, you would go back and get your money. Well, that's what the IRS says. When you have a business, you get to use your cell phone, and the IRS says, come get your money back. When you travel for business, the IRS says, come get your money back. You have children. Children are expensive. The IRS says you can hire your kids to work in your home-based business. They can file, they can sweep the floor, they can take out the trash from your home-based business, and you can pay each child up to $12,000 and get your money back. So that's why we got to have a home-based business.
Let me bring y'all back in here and see if we can face the truth. There were a lot of nuggets dropped in that one.
Oh, yes.
Ladies, what are y'all getting out of that? What kind of truth do we need to face in that little piece we just saw?
Everything that she said. Y'all know what I'm finna do.
Come on.
Look, it don't take me that long to go crazy. Uncle Sam will pay you to run a home-based business. I mean, I don't know about nobody else in the world, but me, since I was 14 years old, matter of fact, since I was 18 years old, living on my own, I had to pay taxes, I had to take care of kids, and I had to work a job. I have never, ever, ever been able to write off my mortgage, my rent, car note, cell phone, never working a job. But because of my home-based business called Jubilee Escape / Travaria, I get to write off my house, my spouse. Oh, my husband is in the business. So he gave himself a pay raise on his job, because you can legally give yourself a pay raise on your job if you have a home-based business, and you got to pay out utilities, water, rent, internet, all that's a write-off for me. I don't have bills. I have business expenses. Hey, change your mind, change the situation.
Come on here, face the truth. Minister Lisa, how did she speak to you? What stood out in that 3-4 minute segment that there's some truth there that you think that we really need to come to terms with?
Like Coach Tanya said, she just spoke truth with everything that came out of her mouth. But what I was thinking as I was listening to her is the fact that we can't stop living because people don't want to live. You know, we just can't. There are going to be people that's going to be out there that's just not going to heed to us. Jesus said the poor will always be with you, you know. So, but I can't understand, for me, myself, I can't understand, but we live with it. We keep on rolling, right? But I can't understand when someone tells you that if you have a home-based business, look, all you need is your name and your social security number, and you can write off all of these taxes. You know, you can have money coming into your home. The IRS is going to give you your money back. The government's going to give you your money back, but people will continue to live the way that they are living, not changing, you know, their way of thinking, or not even trying to learn, is this really true? You know, I can't understand, even if we'll go and we'll talk about, I'm going to say about our travel, the way we travel, when you tell people, look, I went to Dubai for $89 or $49 for a week, but yet you'll still go out there and pay thousands of dollars for that particular trip. I don't understand it. I don't get it. The blockage that's there in our mind, you know, our way of thinking. It's sort of like, do you want to be free or not? You know, if you want, you know, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be whole? Yes, Lord, I want to be whole. Then pick up your bed and walk.
Right. That's it.
You know, am I making sense?
You're making good sense to me. Somebody put that in the comments. Hashtag face the truth. We see Dr. James Vincent Henderson Sr. Thank you for chiming in, sir. Mr. Carroll, what say you when you heard that piece? 2 to 3 minute piece. What stands out?
like the ladies, and I'm sure everybody else who's watching it, there's a lot of things that dropped out, but in congruence with what Coach Tanya and Sister Lisa already said, just to add to it, you think about, I thought about that 95%. Like Sister Lisa said, people are like, they just can't get it, you know. It's a 95% according to the quadrant of Kiyosaki, book that he wrote. And that are employees. 5% are employees. So there's mindset. So you got to work and you're going to get. Let's go to school. I have several. I'm not rich.
Right. You said that didn't make it happen.
I got some degrees too. They gave me a lot of debt.
It didn't happen. And then now I'm tired. And guess what? I'm working.
Yeah.
My mindset has to shift.
Yeah.
Right.
I got to face the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a truth that has to be faced, I believe, by anybody who wants to get up with what's going on right now. Because as was said, times are changing. And we got to get out of the mindset that we had back in the day and change our mindset for the times that we're in. And
because maybe it worked 40 years ago, and there was a generation where the one breadwinner had more than enough, and everybody else
right. No more though.
Now it doesn't work. So now we have to shift our mindset.
Absolutely.
And everybody keeps talking about the mind. So that's a major player in what in life and what's going on. You know, we have to begin to be intentional about our life and understand that God is the author of our faith. But guess what? You can write your own story.
That's right.
You can strategize. You can plan. You know, and you can actually go wherever it is you want to go in life. And God created us in His image. He gave us that ability to think and that ability to speak things into being. You know, and be creative. You know, so He gave us that ability to do those things. But transforming that mind again, changing the mind, changing the way we think. You know,
you're right about that. There's a gentleman at my church who says that
it's going to get us there.
Right.
We have to change the way that we think.
Absolutely.
We can't be in the Moses generation in the Moses era doing the Joshua generation type thing.
Right.
Different times, different things. It's the same game, different players, but it's a new day.
Update. Let me throw this at you. I'm going to give you this next little clip. It's very brief. I get these messages on a regular basis now. I think it's talking about Microsoft Windows 11, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm on 10. I'm on the operating system called 10, but I keep getting these 11 messages. And lately I've noticed the frequency of them has increased. And lately they've been saying, okay, you only have so much time. If you don't do it within this window, we're not going to be responsible for any patches or any intrusions or those types of things. And if we don't stay up to speed and get the necessary update, some of us, we've missed about 30 years of updates.
Yeah.
And we're wondering where all these are going wrong. Like, what's going? We didn't get.
Because we can't do the same. We can't keep doing the same thing.
Can't keep doing the same thing. Let me hit y'all with this, and let's come back and talk about it and chop it up.
So tell us about platooning technology. What is that?
Platooning technology is it's truly an automated vehicle technology. Our platooning technology uses forward-looking sensors that detect the other vehicles in the surroundings, the other objects. Allows a second truck to follow the first vehicle. The vehicle's kind of following in a formation. Can disengage. He can relax, take his hands off the wheel, his feet off the pedals.
How many would you eventually have? I mean, what's possible? Would you have 2 trucks like we were in, or 3 trucks, or 4 trucks? Or?
So we started to work on system issues, but we're also simulating more and more vehicles. If the technology is able to do an unlimited length, there's still issues with potentially blocking exit ramps, for example, or entrance ramps on a freeway.
Why are we doing this? What's the advantage to the trucking company? What's the advantage to state of Texas? What's the advantage to the businesses to doing the shipping?
The research shows that at 65 miles an hour, a single truck uses it spends about 65% of its fuel, of the fuel in the vehicle, of the energy it's generating from that fuel, just to overcome the aerodynamic drag of that big vehicle being pushed down the road.
Well, what's the difference between the fuel economy of the first truck and the second truck?
The lead truck actually still sees a benefit of 4% fuel savings. The second truck sees an 8%. So all in all, it's a 12% savings.
TTI is heading up the research for lots of different companies, maybe the feds too, or
so our project's sponsored by the Texas Department of Transportation. We have 9 public and private sector partners that we've been able to talk into to join in us on this project.
As usual, TTI does great transportation research, the best in the country.
Ladies, I kid you not, during the first month or two of COVID, I said something along these lines when I noticed that a lot of the companies, thankfully, were allowing people to work from home. I said, wow, this is interesting, what it's going to look like. And I said this on a Facebook Live like this, it's not going to go back to the way it was. Because once the employees had tasted that, and once the employers found out that, wait a minute, you mean to tell me all these resources I've had to pay for, from the buildings to the utilities to everything, I mean, even insurance and those things. I say, here's what's going to happen. I said, they're going to be able to see that they can get people working from home. And instead of, let's just say you're in a city somewhere on the East Coast, and that employer has a pool of people that they're able to pull from, but everybody's bound by the location. They're bound by the region. Now, because of what's happening online, I said, they're going to expand that, and they're going to have people working for them that are not even in the same city, not even in the same state, and perhaps nation in some cases. And we've seen so much more of that. So this technology, y'all, that was just one example of technology that has changed business as we know it. And I want us to face the truth together. What do you see about that? How has technology, one way or the other, no matter what kind it is, how has it changed what we do and how we do it? Who wants to go first?
Oh, wow. I'll go first. Technology, social media, the internet in general has changed so much. I mean, I used to work from, I work from home now, but I worked the actual job from home before, where I had to still punch a clock and make my own schedule. Mm-hmm. But I was servicing people. I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I was servicing people in California, Alaska. I was just processing orders. So when they were calling with the threats, I was like, wait, I'm not even there. Hold on, just relax. So, I mean, it's still stress with working from home, but at least you don't have to worry about nobody coming to your house to shoot you up, because now you can't even go to work, go to school without somebody getting upset. You can't even go grocery shopping without somebody wanting to come and shoot the place up. It's crazy out here.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Mr. Lisa?
I'm going to go from this perspective. I work in manufacturing, so I'm a supervisor on my job. But one thing that I've noticed is when COVID struck, and as you said, people were laid off, different businesses shut down, or people began working from home. But one thing too, a lot of people started their own businesses from home. So they realized that, wow, I don't have to go back out there, and work for somebody else or sweat, the way that I was doing, I don't have to do that anymore. So right now what's happening is a lot of companies are having a hard time finding people.
Yes.
And then if they do get them, they having a hard time keeping people.
Yeah.
So that's why you see where they're paying wages at fast foods restaurants. They're paying higher wages now to try to get people in. But a lot of people are choosing I guess you want to say freedom.
Yeah.
Being able to work for myself or work from home over being able to having to go out there and push or work a machine or push a broom or whatever. So as far as technology is concerned, I've also seen that a lot of these manufacturing companies, because business is going to be different for them also, you know, because they still have to do what they have to do. So a lot of them are going out actually getting robots, you know, to fill in. So that's for people who are so used to, like, they are settled. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I've been doing all my life. This is what my mom and daddy did. So this is what I'm gonna do. And so they feel like they're gonna die there, right?
Right.
But companies are pushing them out. Robots are pushing them out. You know, and so they don't have anything to fall back on.
Absolutely.
Because they still have that same mindset. So now you're becoming obsolete.
Absolutely. Yeah. No longer services.
Be careful because you'll mess around and actually die on the job. So don't work yourself to death.
Yeah. Minister Carolyn, this is some good stuff. And Tanya, you say the Great Resignation. I'm going to have Minister Carolyn to speak on that in regards to the technology and the Great Resignation. And then I got another video I'm going to bring up.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, perspective of Minister Lisa and Tanya, I think I fall somewhere in the middle because they are trying to have us come to work. We actually have to come to work every day. Ain't nobody there. I work at a university. See you. It's online. Why am I in the building? Sometimes I'm in there solely by myself.
Wow.
You know, trying to, I think, take advantage of the fact that there's a lot of people who are not going back to work. A lot of people who have started businesses and who have decided, I'm not going back. I'll collect unemployment insurance because they're getting better advantages with that as opposed to going into a building. Buildings are standing with nobody in them. Also, funds that was being generated due to that are no longer being generated. So it has a, you know, it's like a, you're down to your six and a half.
Right. Can't win for losing on that.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then there's a sludge with the internet. You know, there's a lot of times you get kicked out the system.
Yeah.
You get stuff on your screen that you didn't call for.
Right.
You know, so it's just, and it's a slowdown.
Yes.
So it's just a lot going on with this technology. It's a lot of good things and it's a lot of things.
Absolutely.
You know, we're just caught up in there.
Yeah.
And somehow the truth of the matter is, you got to make a decision.
Oh, I like that.
What we're going to play with this whole thing of whatever.
That's
good.
We got to face the truth.
Yeah, face
the truth. All right, ladies, I got another one, and this is going to hit hard. Let's look at it. We're going to come back right after this.
These are roughly 28,835 jelly beans. I counted out 500 of them and used those to weigh the rest. In this pile, there's one jelly bean for each day that the average American will live. You might have more beans in your life, or maybe less, but on average, this is the time we have. Here's a single bean. It's your very first day. A special day, but kind of a rough day on everyone involved. Add 364 more and you have the first year of your life. Now, for a sense of scale, here are your first 15 years, 5,475 days, which brings us to the threshold of adulthood. And at that moment, this is the time that we have left. And this is, on average, what we will do with all that time. We will be asleep for a total of 8,477 days. If we're lucky, some of that time we'll be sleeping next to someone we love. We will be in the process of eating, drinking, or preparing food for 1,635 days. We'll be at work, hopefully doing something satisfying, for the equivalent of 3,202 of those days. 1,099 days will be spent commuting or traveling from one place to another, maybe a little bit more if you live in LA. On average, we will watch television in one form or another for a total of 2,676 days. Household activities, like chores and tending to our pets and shopping, will take another 1,576 days. And we will care for the needs and well-being of others, our friends and family, for 564 days. We'll spend 671 days bathing, grooming, and doing all other bathroom-related activities, and another 720 days will go to community activities like religious and civic duties, charities, and taking classes. After we remove all those beans, this is what remains. This is the time that we have left. Time for laughing, swimming, making art, going on hikes, text messages, reading, checking Facebook, playing softball, maybe even teaching yourself how to play the guitar. So what are you going to do with this time? How much of it do you think you've already used up? If you only had half of it, what would you do differently? What about half of that? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love? What if you just had one more day? What are you going to do today?
Now that is a very sobering truth. And we got to face it. Let's talk about it. Who wants to go first? Not all at the same time.
Laugh all the time. A couple of things kind of came out to me, and percentage of time spent for caring for others extremely low.
Yes, it was.
As opposed to going grocery shopping, watching TV. These menial pastime things and so much time doing.
Right.
And the other thing that stood out to me was doing something that you love.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we get stuck doing things, we're working, and take that money so you can pay the bills. So you can, maybe get a vacation every 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Which tells me how fortunate we are.
Tell me about
business where you can leave a legacy.
Right.
Leave an inheritance, not just for your children, but your children's children.
Right. Right.
And do what you love.
Right.
Travel. Have that extra stream of income.
Yes.
And have that some money left aside for your kids when
and get your time back.
Taking money for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Children and your children's children. I
love it.
We got to face the truth. We're living in those times.
Yes.
Have to realize where we've been going wrong, what we've been doing wrong, and rectify.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good word. Thank you so much. Who would like to go next? I got my cousin Althea is in with us. Love you, cuz.
I'll go. While I was watching that video, all I could think was embrace the time that we have. Cleave to it, cleave to life, cleave to it. Learn to do the things that you love and that you're so passionate about. I guess for me, it's like enjoying every moment. Try to squeeze out of every moment, and sometimes we become overwhelmed or we get anxious about life. For me, I'm just a happy person. So I can only speak for me. I'm just a happy person. I'm not sad about much of anything. Right. Even when it comes to death, I sometimes I have to, because I don't see death as that the end.
Right.
Right. So I see, for me, I find something to laugh at. In everything. So sometimes I have to be like this, because you got to be, conscious of everybody else that's around you, what they're going through. But for me, I'm like just say for myself, I tell my family, I said, look, these are my instructions. When I leave this world, get a baseball field, football field, or whatever. I want colors. I want pink, blue, red, yellow. I want African drums. I want music. I want celebration. That's the way I look at life, and I'm grateful for that, because a lot of people say I have a childlike view of things, and that's how I am, because I wait in expectancy for my father, I run into my father, and he delights in and pleasing us, and I delight in him pleasing me.
Amen.
And,
Good.
And so that's my outlook in life, especially now in my older age. I'm 60 now, so I'm like, every moment has to count. Let's cleave to it. Family, whatever you're doing, give it 100%. And that's one thing that I was telling someone just in prayer last week, and I could hear the Spirit whisper to me, run. Run, Lisa, run 100%. Whatever you're doing, give it 100%. And when you begin to do that, do you not know when you begin to do that, you're gonna get much, much more of a return out of life than you would if you go half-heartedly, or every day is the same old day, same old. When you begin to look at life like that, instead of like, wow, never seen day before, and just become a part of it and throw yourself into that day. I believe if you begin to throw yourself into that day, then life gonna throw itself at you. And some great, wonderful things are gonna happen.
Yeah, we begin to read what we sow. That's so good. Coach, talk to us. How was this? I don't know if you like jelly beans or not, but how was this instrumental? What truth does it help you to face?
I thought those were Skittles at first when I first saw them, but I like Skittles. I don't particularly care for jelly beans, but I like Coach Lisa. They call me crazy because I find humor in just about everything. I mean, I've always been that way, but I think it's because of all the trauma that I've gone through in my life. So when you've gone through a lot of things, you have a few epiphanies. The epiphany I came up with, it ain't even about me. Me living this world and the stuff that I go through, it ain't even about me. It's preparing me to help somebody else get through it that's not as strong as I am. Wow. People be like, why I don't mourn my son? Well, how long am I supposed to mourn him? I mean, like, he gone 5 years. He wouldn't mourn me. He was life itself. So I'm full of life. We all, I know one thing that we all, every single last one of us have in common. We all got an expiration date.
That's right.
I want to know how we going to live our life here and with one another before Judgment Day.
Right.
I'm going to live without no regrets. And when I go home, when my room is ready, because we all passing through.
Come on.
So when my room is ready, I'm ready for my well done, my good and faithful servant, because I did exactly what he told me to do. I lived.
That's good. You just dropped the jelly bean.
I tend to do that from time to time when I am a little smart.
We got two more. This one you've seen before, ladies, I believe, but it hits me every time. And again, it's another truth we need to face. Let's take a look and we'll come right back.
Your first name is about you, but your last name is about us. Legacy. There's power in your name. Power in your name. McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie & Fitch, last name. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, 2 last names. Rolls Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name. Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying, look at this family. And what you don't know is while you're making every family rich, you're making yourself broke. So you done went to one family called Wells Fargo and got $200,000 so you can go to another family called Rolls Royce so you can give them money and get yourself a car so you can go back to the hood Joseph and say, look at what I got. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo, their family sitting up being rich. And Harley Davidsons and Rolls Royces are being rich. And the Joneses are sitting there holding up people's stuff saying, look at what we did and we broke. What if I told you that your blessing is attached to your name? That part of the reason why you're not wealthy yet is because you keep trying to make Yolanda wealthy. You keep trying to make Tasha wealthy. What if you made Johnson's wealthy? What if you started thinking about your kids? What if you started thinking about your legacy? What if God started dropping Canaan and opening up windows of heaven? Because now you're not just thinking about you, you're thinking kingdom. There are some people who are attached to you who say, Mama, can you do something with this name? There's some people who are saying, Dad, can you do something with this name? Maybe God gave you the name to change and reverse some of the stuff that the name meant one day. I wish there was somebody in this room that say my name.
There we go.
That's fire. That always get me on fire.
Face the truth. Go first, Coach T.
Well, that video said it itself. Our name. That means everything that we need. God has already downloaded what we need in order to succeed. We out here trying to get jobs and stuff like that. The Bible says our gifts and our talents will make room for you. So, like the Players Club, you got to use what you got to get what you want.
All right, there you go. All right, ladies, who would like to speak on that next? Face the truth. What truth do you have to share on that?
Well, I would say the one thing that he kept saying that really struck me, that stuck out to me is, what if you think? What if you think about, what if you think about this? Imagine, and first of all, you have to understand, I think most of you probably have read the book, The Strangest Secret. The Strangest Secret. And when you read that and the strangest secret is what? That most of us don't think. Most of us don't think. What if we were to think and begin to think about actually who we are? The potential that's inside of us, the power that's inside of us. What if we were to start thinking about that little seed that is a little seed, but yet it's a great big oak tree inside of that seed, and that's who we are. We have so much explosive potential in us that's waiting to be awakened, that if we begin to think, just begin to think, and again, be intentional, begin to think about and focus on this. The Bible tells us, this is what I want you to think on these things,
right?
So that again tells you about how powerful the mind is. Right. When you think about all those names that he called out, they became who they were because they began to think. Yes, they began to think, what if I did this? I could be this. I can do this. And when you begin to think, as a man thinketh, so is he. When you can write your own story. Right. I wish I knew all of this stuff when I was younger, y'all.
Okay. It's not too late. You got it.
You and me both, but hey, it ain't too late until it is.
It's
you
not
too mysteries late now. You good. And
it is so good to me. Life is so good. And if I get nothing else out of life, is that I can think. Yes. I can think, and it's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable learning, and then taking the principles that you learn and applying them to your life. Yeah. And watching things work. Be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Yeah. And when you begin to renew that mind, transform it. Why would you want to renew your mind? Because you want to transform some things in your life. But first, it comes from you first changing the way that you're thinking. And so sometimes you got to cut loose those deadbeat people that ain't going nowhere, that you hanging around, and you got to hang around some people that's doing some stuff.
Come on. Could I hang around y'all? Could I hang around y'all?
Yeah, I'm hanging around you, Coach. Birds of a feather flock together.
I know that's right. Mr. Carroll, what spoke to you out of your soul?
Oh my God.
Caused you to face the truth out of that?
So much. But I think the basis of what spoke to me is you got to believe in yourself. Right? I mean, he told all these names, he quoted these names, legacy. So many people are attached to us. And times, I know it was this way in my life. Sometimes I looked at things and things became to be bigger than than me, bigger than I thought.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, so I kind of got in a little small box, and my contacts got, though I people wasn't always reaching back.
Mhm.
So it kind of, stifled me a little bit. And I says, oh, well, they're not really talking. And, you kind of get distant. And
Right.
then COVID comes, and then you really get distant.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
what really strikes out to me is, yes, you got to change that mindset, but you got to believe that you can do it.
Mhm.
Whatever the dream was that God gave you, because He gave you a dream. He gave us a dream at the beginning. Right? He says in Jeremiah, I think it's, Jeremiah 29:11.
29:11.
That
The plans.
before you were born, I knew you and formed you, and I ordained you
Yes.
a prophet of the nations.
Yes.
Right? So he had plans for us. I had plans for you.
Mhm.
Plans not to harm you, but plans to give you a hope and a future. That's He has plans for us.
Right.
That's right.
We already have it inside of us.
To prosper us.
Oh, we've grown up. We become the pirate. Anybody ever Robin Hood? I love stories. We become pirates. We get grown, and we just the CEOs, and we the corporate executives.
Yeah.
Places, but we forget that childlike spirit within us.
Yes.
That's what be ignited in us.
Yes.
That's what needs, and that's what brings forth legacy. And
I love it.
Out of that. So
That you can pass on, because the other stuff is not long lasting. As I say, most of the jobs and things we've poured our heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears in, it can't be passed on. The lifespan of it is within your own duration of your own life. Your children don't want your job. In fact, if you gave it to them,
they will be mad with you. Okay, they will be mad with you.
Come on here. They do not want that job, so you can't pass it on. So it got to be something that your name is attached to, and it has more than just a lifespan duration. Ladies, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Now we're gonna get to the best part, and thank y'all so much for sharing from your hearts on Candid Truths. We faced the truth tonight, and if you're watching this broadcast, we're sharing all of this, and we're headed somewhere. Because every one of those principles attached and all the nuggets that these sisters have laid before you, we found a place where it all comes together called Travorium. It's a travel club. It's a worldwide travel club that's operating in more than 60 nations strong around the globe. It's 10 years old in its existence. It's a debt-free company. It's led by some of the most generous geniuses you'll meet. None other than Mr. David Hart, Adela Hart. We love them. They're the kind of people that you want to be connected to. They come from a very pure space of seeing people empowered and seeing people's lives transform and change. And that's what I love about them. Not only that, they're just very down to earth and humble people, so forth and so on. And they've made this debt-free company to pay out tens of millions of dollars to everyday ordinary people like the people you see on the screen. And we have an opportunity to share with you. Listen, we don't want you to make any major decisions, but we do want your feedback. We do want your opinion. And if you're willing to do that for us, we have something we want to give to you. The whole time we've been talking, it's been right there on the screen. The number you need to write down is 888-532-2699. We want you to text a particular phrase to that number. And just by giving us your opinion, just by giving us your feedback, we're going to set you up with a 6-day, 5-night stay. And you can choose from Cancun. You can choose from Puerto Vallarta. You can choose from Cabo San Lucas. But all these are amazing destinations, and you can stay there. This does not include your flight. This does not include your food. It's a $1,300 value certificate, though, and you're saving at least $1,000+ of that, because you'll pay about $188 for the resort fee and tax. You got to pay that, resort fee and tax, about $188 or so dollars. So you're saving just over $1,000. If you try to go to any one of these destinations for 6 days, 5 nights, at a minimum, you're going to pay $1,300, and we're gifting that to you for your opinion. Go ahead and text Strong Finish, no spaces in between those two words, to the number 888-532-2699. I want you to take a quick look at one of the promotions. This one is just Cancun, so let me pull it up for you real quick.
Cancun Riviera Maya. Wow! No, it's one of the hottest locations in Mexico. 5 nights at the 5-star Fives Resort. You're gonna love this beachfront paradise. Deluxe luxury accommodations, 7 outdoor pools, a world-class spa, and 15 incredible restaurants and bars. Plus, experience amazing activities from snorkeling and scuba diving to touring ancient Mayan ruins. This is a $1,294 value at one of Mexico's best resorts. Here's what others have said about their Fives Resort experience.
Our experience has been flawless from beginning to end, from booking to getting here to transportation to everything. It's absolutely wonderful.
Here at the Fives in Cancun, loving it.
This has been an incredible resort. It's absolutely immaculate. It's right on the beach. The service is incredible, and we have absolutely landed upon a 5-star hotel. We've had an extraordinary experience, and we can't wait to come back.
Beautiful beaches, outstanding service, great food. We've had a wonderful honeymoon vacation. Highly recommend it. It's just beautiful here.
Do not miss this. Book your 5 nights in Cancun Riviera Maya now.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, but we wanted all of our guests, whether you're watching this live or replay, we want you to face the truth. And we've shared many things that are true for each and every one of us without respect to persons. But what's even just as true as that, all of that we've shared, is the fact that we want to bless you. We want to see you blessed. We want to see you walking in your prosperity. We want to see you walking in expanded and increased territory. We want to see you leaving a legacy. That's what we want to see. And we want to sow a seed into your life. If you'll go ahead and you'll text strong finish to the number that you see on your screen. It's coming around again as it comes down. I want you to write that number down. Don't mix it up with any other number. Strong finish. No spaces between the two words. To the number 888-532-2699. Ladies, would one of you put that in the comments? Make sure they have that on hand. And if you'll do that, we on our part, we're going to make sure that you get what we promised to deliver. That's a 6-day, 5-night stay. You have up to a year to use it. You can't lose the stuff we use. Ladies, I want to give y'all a closing comment. Who would like to close us out first?
I guess we don't want to close. We want to stay.
We ain't got to leave, but we got to go.
I know, that's right. We got this corporate call. I'm going to close this out, so go ahead, ladies.
I would just say, you heard what everyone heard what Coach Mel said. I'm like, get the vacation, please. I know for myself, I see a lot of people on social media posting, I want a vacation. I need a vacation. I got to have a vacation. And then when you reach out to them, then what's the catch? You know, the catch is you don't have to pay as much as you would pay if you were going to do it on your own. It's a free vacation. All you have to do is pay the taxes and the resort fees. That is the only catch. That is the only catch. But guess what? We are all going to keep on traveling. We're going to keep on living. We're going to keep on moving. And we're looking for the ones who are like-minded, who want to do the same thing. Come on, y'all. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Lisa. Mr. Carolyn.
I would say yes. Take the trip. If you haven't changed your mind yet, the trip can help you change your mindset.
That's good.
Take the trip. And thank you all for coming.
Yes. Awesome. 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 Coach, close us out, darling.
Well, I am going to close us out with this. Quit sitting on the dock of the bay. Text strong finish to 888-532-2699. Watch the video. Take the survey. Make sure you schedule a confirmation call that's a good time for you. And look, we're going to see y'all on the beach or at the bank. We would like to see you at both, but hey, we're going to see you at either one of them. That's it.
All right, ladies. We'll see y'all on the call.
All right.
All right.